Today we're here in Palermo, Italy, exploring the city and finding some of the best food to eat so you know what to do when you visit Palermo. Let's go.
Palermo, Sicily. While it might be best known for its dark history with the Mafia, this city has a distinctly rich culture defined by being the most conquered city in the world. Aside from the history, it's also a destination for food lovers, as we were blown away by the delicious cuisine. Palermo is definitely a city you're going to want to put on your map. Don't believe us? Join us in discovering the charm of Sicily's capital, Palermo.
So right behind me here is the Fontana Praetoria, and a little interesting fact about it is that it was built in the 16th century, but it was not built in Palermo. It was actually built in Florence, Italy. And to settle a debt between the two cities, it was actually disassembled and transported from Florence all the way to Palermo in 644 different pieces. Now, unfortunately today, it's actually under construction, so we can't quite see it in all of its glory, but it's still definitely quite a sight to see, and maybe we'll have to come back to see it when it's up and working.
A historic intersection you certainly won't want to miss is Quattro Canti, where the four districts of Palermo meet, and each of the four facades has a different story. Looking from the ground level upwards, you can see each one represents a season: summer, fall, winter, and spring, various rulers of Sicily, and different patron saints. It's the main intersection in Palermo, so you likely won't miss it. Now, let's go get some food.
So of course, while we're here in Sicily, we had to get an arancini, and we stopped here. They had a bunch of different flavors. I got the one that was mushroom, so it was fungi and porcini. They didn't have a fork or anything like that, so I'm just gonna bite right in. Wow, you can really taste the mushroom in that. That is really good. These things are hefty. I mean, each of these balls weighs a lot. There's way more to these than I even anticipated, but that one's delicious. I'm gonna say we might have to grab a couple more before we leave Palermo because, wow, absolutely phenomenal.
One important note about traveling to Palermo is that the airport is quite far from the city center. While you can take a bus or a train that takes between 40 minutes to an hour, we actually arrived closer to midnight, and seeing as though we were traveling with a child, we opted for a private transfer, something we almost never do. But it worked out wonderfully, and we'd highly recommend it. The link is in the description below if you're looking to book when you visit Palermo.
So behind me here is the Palermo Cathedral, and it's massive. It's absolutely spectacular, but it's so intricate. All the ornate details on the outside are simply incredible. Now we're gonna head inside because it's free to enter. So we just got out of the Palermo Cathedral here, and I can see exactly why it's free to enter. The inside is okay, but it's not absolutely beautiful like the outside is here. I'm gonna say that is where the beauty really lies. However, you can pay extra to go into the tombs, a museum, and of course, up to the rooftop. Now, that is something we would traditionally do, but traveling with a child, we just decided not to do it today. So if you know whether that is worth it or not, make sure to drop that in the comments to let us know if that's something we missed while visiting the cathedral here in Palermo. So of course in Italy, we had to get gelato, and we stopped at Cappadonia, a place that is highly recommended here in Palermo. I had to get the classic pistachio gelato, and I had actually heard that just getting this classic flavor will tell you if a place is good or not. So I'm really excited to give it a go. Oh my God, that's fantastic. It doesn't taste like kind of that fake pistachio you see other places. It's absolutely delicious, and this definitely will not be our last gelato.
Now, you can't tell Palermo's story without talking about the Mafia, as it's played a huge role in shaping the city and much of Sicily. While you can do Mafia tours, we opted to stop in the donation-based No Mafia Memorial, which is a memorial museum to the Mafia's victims. If you have more time than us in Palermo, go on their full No Mafia City tour. The link is in the description below, and it usually sells out, so make sure to book ahead. For dinner, we stopped at the highly recommended Procopio Pizzeria, of course, to get pizza, and it did not disappoint. However, you might want to make a reservation if you're visiting during peak season or at the busiest meal times.
All right, right, so we stopped for breakfast, a little bit of coffee and a pastry at Bar del Ero. It's just off of kind of the main drag here in Palermo. So I got a cappuccino. That is just fantastic. There's something about this coffee in Italy I just absolutely love. And an absolutely loaded pistachio croissant. I'm so excited. I'm just going to bite right into it. Look at that. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm just loving all these nice little breakfast pastries here in Italy. You can't go wrong almost anywhere you go. They're fantastic, but I would highly recommend this place. So we just got out of Bar del Ero, and I just have to say that was an absolutely fantastic bar. It reminds me of some of the old man bars, as I like to say, in Spain that we used to go to. Now, if you want to check out those, we got a whole playlist here of food tours we've done in Spain where we hit up plenty of those in lots of different cities. But I'm just going to say that that's a bar you have to stop into. It was filled with locals, and the coffee was great, the pastries were great, and it's just the type of place we absolutely love to find when traveling.
Aside from the cathedral, Palermo also has a few other spectacular churches. The 12th century Church of St. Mary of the Admiral is filled with golden mosaics that are simply stunning and absolutely worth the €2 entrance. However, it doesn't quite compare to the mind-blowing 1500-year-old mosaics we saw in Ravenna, Italy. Make sure to watch that video of ours once you finish this one. The Church of San Giuseppe di Padri Teatini is right at Quattro Canti, is €3 to enter, and has beautiful Baroque interiors. We wouldn't say it's a must-do unless you want to climb the bell tower, something we passed on with a child, but we did go up to the top of another church you won't want to miss. The 12th century Church of San Cataldo is one of the oldest in Palermo and costs $2.50 to enter. It's a quick visit as it's small, but the historic red domes are definitely interesting. Honestly, if you were to skip one, this is the one we'd skip. In visiting the church and monastery of Santa Caterina da Alessandria, we opted to pay the €10 each to visit the church, rooftop, and monastery, which did not disappoint, especially with what felt like sneaking around and up the church to get amazing views of Palermo. Plus, the monastery is where we're headed next and is really why we came here.
So we decided to stop in quite a unique place, and that is an 800-year-old monastery. And they actually have a bakery that you can go in and eat. This reminds me a lot of the nun cookies we got throughout Spain, so I'm really excited to try it. We decided to get a cannolo, which is a singular of a cannoli, and give it a go. They're absolutely massive, and it's completely filled. So we have the chocolate on one side and the pistachio on the other. And I would recommend getting here right at 10 o'clock. We got here about 5 minutes before and there was still a line, but I'm gonna bite in. And because I had the pistachio for breakfast, I'm gonna go straight for the chocolate. Oh my God. That cream in there, the ricotta. Well, that was a big bite, but that was probably the best cannoli I've ever had in my life. That cream is absolutely fantastic. They were filling them right there in front of you, so you know it was totally fresh. Again, just get here early because you'll avoid the line, but oh my God, that was exceptional. And this is a place you absolutely have to come to when you're here in Palermo because, wow, I can't even say enough good things about that.
I'm realizing that there's no nice way to eat this, so here we go. Oh my God. That shell part is so good. And the cream inside is just delicious. We only got one because they're loaded and massive, but we did get a few other things too. One of them is this, I'm gonna say it wrong, Genovese, filled with pistachio cream. So I'm gonna try this one as well. Okay, so the outer layer is a shortbread type of pastry. I didn't get too much of the pistachio cream, I get a hint of it. Looks like there's more on the inside. I'm gonna take another bite. Okay, it's good. It's more of a like lemony type of cream with like a hint of pistachio. It's really good. I'm gonna say the cannoli is better. All the other desserts in there also look exquisite. So if you have time, definitely stop here. Get a few, maybe some to take home because we might have to come back.
Every Sunday morning, Palermo has a massive, vibrant flea market that surrounds the Marina Square that is home to a 100-year-old ficus tree that is one of the largest in Europe. It's affectionately known as the Strangler Tree because during the Holy Inquisition, people were executed right where the tree is, and the tree continues to grow and crush everything in its path. As for the flea market, we recommend just wandering through it even if you don't intend to buy anything, because it's right on the way to the waterfront, which has a fun park for kids to play in. Something we wouldn't have even considered in our travels not too long ago, but now is always on our itineraries.
All right, so we are at the Ballaro Market. This was the number one thing I wanted to do in Palermo, and it's just as crazy as I thought. It's this huge street that's really narrow and just lined with a ton of different places that you can eat at, either get something to go or sit down at a table like we are. And we decided to grab a selection of things, the first being what we think is a fried artichoke. So I'm gonna give it a bite. It's really good. It's cold, which I didn't expect, but it's really good. I mean, I love artichokes, so I can't go wrong with that. And the next one is some fried seafood here, which I'm curious because it's cold too. Well, that's good. Calamari. I wish it was warm though. That's the only thing, but I'm excited to see what else is at this market. And one thing we did get is an Aperol Spritz. Now, I've never had one of these in my life, but I'm really excited to try it, and what better place to do it than here in Sicily. Oh, it's really interesting. It's actually a lot more bitter than I expected because it kind of looks like this nice fruity drink. Like I said, I've never had this before. Didn't even really know what it tasted like. It's interesting, I'll say that. I don't know if it's something I'd get over and over, but it's nice on a hot day like today, sitting in the sun here in Italy. And I'm excited because there's a few more things I think we want to try at this market. So once we finish this, we're going to keep walking around and hopefully we can find those before we leave. So we decided to get another street food here at the Ballaro Market in Palermo, and it is called a penne sandwich, and it's basically a fried chickpea fritter sandwich. Woo, it's a B. I'm really excited to try this. It looks so good, and I don't know, fried chickpea, you can't really go wrong with that. Oh, extra bread. Oh, that's good. And the sesame seeds on the bread, a little bit of salt and lemon on here. And then the chickpea fritter tastes pretty fresh. I don't know, I just like that little chickpea flavor. I'm gonna go for another bite right away. This is really good. It's kind of a plain taste. It's not that overwhelming amount of flavors, but just it goes together really well. And sort of those simplistic flavors put together make for a great bite to eat, especially if you're looking for something vegetarian here in Palermo.
Okay, so we stopped in at Grand Cafe Torino, and I saw this espresso with pistachio cream that I thought would be intriguing. I'm actually not quite a coffee drinker, but I need a little pick-me-up, and this looks really delicious, so I'm just gonna give it a try. I don't know how to drink it. I don't know, I'm just gonna go for it. Maybe with a spoon. Let's see here. They gave me this cute little spoon here. Maybe you're supposed to mix it up. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna try it. Okay, so the espresso itself is a little bit bitter, but with the pistachio cream, it's really delicious, more like a dessert. And yeah, it's probably good to get this smaller amount. Oh yeah, we could eat a few of these.
So of course, here at My Travel BF, we have to answer the question, is 2 days in Palermo worth it? And what did we think of the city? Well, we absolutely loved Palermo. We found it to be stunning and incredibly beautiful. We loved the graffiti, the grit, and kind of the grunge that this city has. And the food was absolutely exceptional. Also, we found it to be super safe, which wasn't what we had always read online by a lot of other people. So that's something to know when you're coming to visit Palermo. Now, we did find 2 days enough to visit the historic center of Palermo and eat most of the main food. We had a great time here, and on our third day, actually decided to take a day trip outside to a nearby town, which is supposed to be one of the most beautiful cities in northern Sicily. So you're not going to want to miss that one. That video is going to be coming out soon, so like and subscribe. And in the meantime, we have some other videos popping up on the screen here, and you're not going to want to miss those. So we'll see you over there. Bye.